Lagertha, a most legendary warrior of the Viking Age. She, like this old traveler, goes by other names. In some tales, she's thought to be Thorgerd, a goddess of defense, and whose name means Thor's protection. But that is not the woman we shall speak of this day. No. Today the tomes take us to the lands of ancient Scandinavia. It is a time of hardship and frost, of strife and cold, of dragons and oars, and of axe and shield. Today, spectators of myth, we visit the Viking Age. When legend speaks of Lagertha, she begins not as the wife of Ragnar and his sons, but in servitude to royalty. Lagertha served in the house of the Norwegian king Sigurd, but that house was soon to fall. Fro, the Swedish king, had laid waste to much of Norway and slaughtered Sigurd. To disgrace the fallen king further, Fro ordered that Lagertha, along with other servants, be put to work in a brothel. The Swede had won the battle, but had also sparked a fire. Sigurd was the grandfather to another Viking legend, a man whose very name sent the bravest of men into a cold sweat, and the weakest praying to their ancestors. That man was Ragnar Lothbrok. When Ragnar learned of Fro's actions, he vowed revenge. He traveled with an army to face the Swedes, but when the battle began, Ragnar and his men were surprised. As it turned out, those that they had come to rescue were also quite the fighters themselves. The story goes that Lagertha and the other captors of Fro had draped themselves in armor and joined the fray against the Swedes. Lagertha was in the thick of it. She fought with a ferocity that outshone all the warriors among Ragnar's forces. With her golden locks swinging, she slaughtered many men, and through the blood, sweat, and tears of battle, she caught the eye of Ragnar. He fell for her as quickly as those who fell by her blade. Ragnar was in love. The Viking legend was smitten with the warrior woman, whose skill matched his own. But his interest alone would not win her hand. Ragnar would have to prove that he was worthy of Lagertha's love. So he traveled to a home in the Gaula Valley. There, Ragnar would find Lagertha and tell her of his love for her. But Lagertha was not there. What was there was a giant angry hound and massive hulking bear, and both had eyes on Ragnar. One cannot talk of Lagertha without speaking of Ragnar. Indeed, spectators of myth, their fates are intertwined. When we last left Ragnar, he was seeking out Lagertha in a bid to declare his love to her at home in the Gaula Valley. Yet it was not her the legendary warrior found. Ragnar was confronted by two monstrous beasts guarding the shield maiden. Spear in hand, the mad Viking slew the bear, and when he turned on the hound, he used his bare hands. Lagertha was impressed. Ragnar had passed her test, and she fell deeply in love. Soon, Ragnar and Lagertha were wed. They lived happily for a time, but nothing lasts forever. After their union, the two raised a family. They sired 2 daughters and a son. The call of battle, however, drew Ragnar afar to foreign lands where he fell for another. His love for Lagertha was no more. Ragnar divorced the shield maiden and married his new love. Lagertha did the same, but she still bore a deep love for the man who bested her beasts. Some say it was because of them and her test that Ragnar never truly trusted Lagertha. However, he would soon find himself in need of her battle skills once more. Ragnar was fighting a losing battle in Denmark. He requested reinforcements from Norway, and Lagertha, now queen, obliged. Still holding a candle for her former love, she came to his rescue with many of her finest warriors. Some say she sailed with 120 ships. Ragnar was saved, and the tide of the battle was turned. However, when all was said and done, he went his way, and she went hers. And down that path she would soon find herself the sole ruler of Norway. No small feat for a shield maiden in the age of Vikings. To gain power, it is said, she slew her second husband. The two were deep in argument, and she stuck him with a spearhead. The story goes that she wanted the throne for herself. Ragnar, meanwhile, had many other adventures, and it's his life we shall chronicle next. Ragnar Lothbrok, the Viking conqueror of Nordic myth. Legend does not speak of Ragnar, it yells. From the lands of Sweden and Denmark to France and Britain, Ragnar's battle cry was heard across the ocean and beyond. Prince, father, warrior, husband, adulterer, pirate, king, bandit, Viking. Ragnar was all these and more. And to this day, many wonder, did this man live one life or many? Some believe Ragnar wasn't a single man at all, but a mixture of other legends of the age. It is said that he was born the son of a Swedish king, and his name is believed to mean hairy breeches. Funny as that may be, legend has it that he was granted the title while slaying a dragon. Ragnar was by no means the first Viking to raid and plunder foreign shores, but some say he was the first to make a home there. If, as some suspect, the Viking Ragnar was Ragnar, then one of his conquests was in western France. Eventually, the tomes say, Ragnar captured Paris as well. But he didn't stop there. The man is also said to have battled his way across the ocean to England. There, he raided and plundered Northumbria and Wessex. But it was also there the man known as Ragnar met his demise. He was captured by Ayla, the king of Northumbria. The Englishmen sentenced Ragnar to death and had him thrown into a pit of snakes. And so the Viking king was no more. Yet his revenge he would get. Ragnar's sons were mad with grief, and they decided to pay a little visit to the kingdom of Northumbria. Legend speaks of the Sons of Ragnar, they and their Viking rage. Upon hearing of their father's death in England, they went mad with grief. Legend has it they raised a great heathen army and journeyed across the ocean seeking revenge. Ragnar's boys numbered 5 in total: Uba, Ivar, Bjorn, Sigurd, and Halfdan. All men, all warriors, all legends in their own right, but those are tales we shall come to later. Now, spectators of myth, we chronicle the brood of Ragnar and their vengeance. In the summer of 865 or 866, Ragnar's sons and their massive Viking army waged war against the English. The tomes do not tell of how many of Ragnar's sons traveled to the kingdom of Northumbria, but they do bleed with their victims' cries. From the last days of summer to the first days of fall, the Vikings battled their way across the English lands. Village after village, and soldier after soldier fell to the heathen horde. By the winter, the sons had brought large swathes of English land under their control. King Ayla was fighting a losing battle, and soon the Sons of Ragnar had arrived at the city of York. The Vikings soon captured that as well, and got their hands on King Ayla. What happened next is hard to tell. Some say that the Englishman was slaughtered there and then. Others say he was executed by a method known as the Blood Eagle and left to rot. We dare not show you this, spectators of myth, except to say that it spreads both sides of the back as if they were an eagle's wings. Legend has it, the Blood Eagle was a sacrifice to the Allfather, and he, if anything, is a most blood-hungry god.